It's been a massive week in the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator, with PMDG flexing their muscles, showcasing a close to release candidate of the 737 as well as a bunch of new releases. We've got you covered with all of that, including this week's latest announcements, release news, so let's jump into the video. Welcome to another Microsoft Flight Simulator update video. This is where we take a look at all the Flight Simulator news and development in one weekly video. As always, before we jump into this video, 73% of all viewers that watch Yale's Flight Simulator channel are not subscribed. So if that's you, please help us out. Hit that subscribe button. It's really appreciated. And also the notification bell while you're there. That way you know when our next Flight Sim stream or a video goes live. Kicking off at this week's previews and announcements, and the first one goes to the team over at Lionheart Creations as they shared some images of the in-development aircraft of the Learfan 2100. The Learfan 2100 is a business turbo aircraft that never managed to see the light of day, or the sky of day I should say, and it didn't actually get in production. 3 of these were made as a prototype and it didn't pass the service level due to, I believe it's the gearbox, so which is quite interesting that Lionheart Creation is doing this aircraft, but we need more business aircraft in the sim. Lionheart did showcase some of the interior shots of the in development a little while ago. Now this time we get to see some exterior shots. Lionheart at this stage has not provided any extra information, feature sets or release date of the aircraft, but of course we're going to keep you updated as we hear more. And in some more exciting news, especially when it comes to business jets for simmers, the Honda jet that has been in development by Mora Gabi, if I said that correctly, is now partnered with the team over at FlightFX for the release. The FlightFX team mentioned that they will now be able to speed up the project for the release of the aircraft due to the back-end support the team can provide the project. Pricing of the Honda jet has been set, which is good news, and we should hear an announcement of the aircraft released in the next couple of weeks. We are expecting to see this to be a very realistic version of the Honda jet, and of course we're going to keep you posted in the next couple of weeks as we hear more. Now in some big previews this week, of course it's the PMDG 737-700. This week we've had the opportunity to see the aircraft in action from video releases from the PMDG team themselves around liveries and basic introductions to the aircraft, to AAA streamers showcasing the aircraft over in Twitch and in YouTube. From the previews of the 737, it looks to be close to complete but is missing a few features. The PMDG team did mention they are planning to release the 737-700 as a early adopter stage aircraft, which will last around about 24 weeks, with continuously improving all models of the aircraft as they get released during that time. After the 24 weeks of the adopter stage, the 737 will move to a continuous maintenance phase. Some of the features we are looking to see improved or introduced during the early adopter phase is high detailed cabin for passenger variants, freighter variants and the BBJ variant, high detail gear bays for all models, a new flight tablet introduced, some brief integration, windshield wiper sweep, weather radar integration of the new PMDG Nav 2.0 ladder controls, and also it was mentioned that Xbox users should get access to the 737 during the summer. It won't be available on launch though. Still, no pricing is set and there's no release day set, but that should come in the next couple of weeks. I'll leave a bunch of special links below where you can check out all the PMDG 737 live streams and videos shown this week. Moving over to this week's releases, and the first one is an aircraft by India Fox Techo released the Sukhoi Su-31. The India Fox Techo continues to add to its product list in 2022 after the release of the F-35. Now we have a release of this Russian aerobatic single-seater airplane. The Su-31 has been in development for some time now, and it hasn't been close to release for some time also. The team hasn't been quite happy with the sim's performance and capability, and the team mentioned the aircraft is capable of some remarkable aerobatics, and they weren't not able to replicate that in Microsoft Flight Simulator in the past. Now the team is happy with some of the sim experiences and has released the Su-31. Package includes a detailed exterior and interior models, 7 different liveries, bespoke wires, a sound set, and you can pick up your copy of the Sukhoi Su-31 from the Orbex store. I'll leave a link in the description below. In another release this week, it goes to the team at Aerosoft as they release a Brussels Airport. We covered this in last week's announcement news with the trailer, and now the airport has been released. Brussels is located in Central Europe, which enables easy access to most major airports in Europe. The Aerosoft version of the airport is definitely raises the bar when it comes to the level of details and features in airport scenery. Some of the features that are included in the package are high detailed and accurate version of the airport, high detailed models with high resolution textures, custom jetway with the correct variations of each terminal, ambient passenger movements inside and around the terminal, large amount of clutter including service equipment, aircraft stands and parking, accurate terrain on the runway profiles, custom aerial imaging covering the airport boundaries and the surrounding areas. This is just a small part of what the whole feature list is, and you can pick up your copy of Brussels Airport from Aerosoft directly from the Aerosoft store, also from the Just Flight store as well. I'll leave a link in the description below. In another big airport release this week, this one goes to the team over at Flightbeam as they release Wellington Airport. Wellington Airport is located around picturesque settings in the hills of the Pacific Ocean, which provides very scenic approaches in New Zealand. This is a great addition to the team as Flightbeam did Auckland Airport scenery not long ago. Features include high detail 4K textures, latest real-world 2022 taxiway layouts, detailed of Flightbeam Gen 5 dynamic jetways, multi-layer realistic hand-painted ground textures, custom static aircraft or custom static objects, dense amount of custom tarmac objects, and custom water and detail satellite imaging. You can pick up your copy of Flightbeam's Wellington from the Flightbeam store, a link again in the description below. In another aircraft release this week, this goes to the team over at Virtual Call this week, releasing the Embraer 190-195 series. This was a bit of a surprise actually, as we haven't heard much from the team except that the update to the 170 and 175 E-Jet series last week, and now they've released the 190 and the 195. There's no feature list for the aircraft, which is quite normal from Virtual Call, but going from their past experience, if you're looking for a study level aircraft, you may want to wait for the Just Flight 146 or the PMDG 737. Virtual Call Embraer series of aircraft is really aimed at the beginner level simmer. The E190 and 195 is pretty much a stretched version of the 170 and 175. The Virtual Call Embraer 190 and 195 is available both on PC and Xbox, and you can pick up your copy of that aircraft in the InSim marketplace. Moving on to this week's Sim Update news, and there's no real update around Sim Update 9, which is to be expected being 1 week out from release. We generally don't hear too much from the Servo team 1 week before an update. Sim Update 9 is on schedule for releases, as well as the aircraft is going to be released around about the same time for the DLC, and we should expect to see a development Q&A from the devs around about the 27th of April, and this is where we should hear more about what's next when it comes to the development of a Microsoft Flight Simulator. The update development roadmap was released this week, and there is no real additions here other than the Maverick DLC is still on schedule for late May, and I guess this is a good sign that the movie is finally releasing. We'll get to see Top Gun in the movies. No update on World Update for June and where it will be. I guess that's going to come out in the next couple of months. Again, an update wishlist was out this week, and again, there's no real changes there, but I do want to point out about something which is a WASM support for Xbox. This will be available on Sim Update 10, and it's one of the main pain points, I should say, for Xbox users with the lack of aircraft in the console. We hear that time and time again where Xbox users think they've been forgotten about, but this is due to the WASM support for third-party software. It's basically stopping some of the older aircraft to be pushed into the sim. With this support, we should see more third-party aircraft available on the console, which is great news, and we'll see it in the next sim update after Sim Update 9. This week we have seen 6 additional airports released around the globe in the various flight sim stores, 4 new aircraft, 9 new sceneries, and 1 new mission pack. On the Sim Marketplace release, we have seen 49 new products, 25 of those on PC and 24 are on Xbox. 4 of those are new aircraft, being the Virtual Call EB190-195, the Freedom Fox from Parallel 42, the Grumman Goose from Big Radials, and the Maureen D3801 from Swiss Milsim, if I said that correctly. All these aircraft are available for both PC and Xbox console, and most of the others in the releases this week have been liveries, sceneries, and airports. If you got this far in the video, thank you very much. You guys are a bunch of legend aviators. And if you're new to the channel and you still got this far, please hit that subscribe button, because as I said before, 73% of all viewers that watch Oz Flight Simmer channel are not subscribed. We also stream every Wednesday and every Sunday at 8 PM at GT plus 10. So if you want to join a bigger multiplayer flight each and every week, please jump over to the Oz Flight Simmer channel and hit the notification bell. That way you know when our next stream is going live. I'm going to leave you with one of our other favorite flight sim videos here. Please check that one out, and I'll see you over there.